How's everyone doing? This is Matt Abrams with Medical Device Matt. I'm really excited to introduce another day in the life of the field clinical specialist, also known as the clinical specialist by Abbott, for the Mitraclip or Pascal rolls. These are minimally invasive therapy options for patients that are high to prohibitive risk for surgery to address mitral regurgitation. I know that sounds like a lot, but the mitral is one of the 4 valves in the heart, and regurgitation just means a leak. So this is a minimally invasive option to help address patient symptoms because of that. I really like these rolls because they fall under the structural heart umbrella that I'm extremely passionate about. If you've been following my channel or my LinkedIn posts, I believe structural heart is where you want to be from an innovation perspective, but just the therapy itself, it's so amazing. It's these minimally invasive options to treat heart valve disease. So it's really amazing. And what that means is typically these patients that were experiencing mitral regurgitation, or if you watch my previous video about aortic stenosis, you would have to go to open heart surgery to address. Now there's minimally invasive options thanks to the innovation by Abbott, the company, from about 10 years ago that delivered Mitraclip. What's really exciting is now Edwards Lifesciences has Pascal, which is another option to treat mitral regurgitation. That's a really innovative device, and that team is growing really fast. So those are the two companies in the space. Edwards calls it a field clinical specialist. I think Abbott calls it a clinical specialist. What's exciting about these roles, though, typically I don't see them as an entry level out of school. Some people have got in with maybe really specific research in this space, but typically I see these as a second or third stopping in your medical device career if you're on the clinical specialist, sales clinical specialist roles. The reason I say that is they're very hands-on, from teaching and training the physicians during the actual surgery to also requiring a really strong clinical knowledge, clinical cardiology knowledge, a really good sales acumen, including the emotional intelligence of how to coach a team during the procedure, because you're going to be working with the operator, typically an interventional cardiologist, as well as the imager, a cardiac imager. And I'm going to go through some of the basics of the role, and at the end I have done some research and I want to discuss a day in the life, but I want to give some of the upfront information. So I talked about the need for clinical cardiology, sales acumen, but what else these companies are looking for are people with Cath Lab experience. And not only Cath Lab experience in minimally invasive therapies, but really people with sonography or echo is where they image your heart with the probe. And that's really important because patients with mitral regurgitation are diagnosed with echo. And I'll talk about the day in the life in a second, but when you look at how to use your product to treat these problems, it's almost like a puzzle. So you need to think about anatomically what's seen on echo and come up with a plan and strategize with the physician. The physician is going to lead the plan, but they really value your input. So I talked about the titles, and then again, these are the clinical specialist roles. Typically there's also a territory manager, but today we're talking about the clinical specialist roles. The experience needed, bachelor's, clinical cardiology, sales acumen, as well as acumen or Cath Lab, acumen in echo or Cath Lab. The pay ranges are really strong. So I did a lot of videos on pacemaking, which I do think is an entry-level role after college. However, this role, being kind of a second or third stop, demands and has a larger pay. So you'll typically make 130, 140 if it's your first time in structural heart, all the way up to 180 to 200 or more, depending on the territory and the dynamics. So you could earn quite a bit, and a lot of that will be salary component with some commission on how the district or the territory is doing, opposed to a sales rep who has a really high commission and a smaller salary. What I like about these roles is I mentioned the innovation, but there's a lot of ways to take off after being in this role and having success. You could go into physician training, you could go into a team trainer for your own team, you could be like the territories or districts designated expert. Obviously there's roles inside. The field experience that you get working with physicians and hospitals is extremely important, so it opens up a ton internally for your company in marketing or R&D, and also puts you in a really good position because you're working with KOLs, key opinion leaders in the structural heart space. So if you ever wanted to spin off to another strategic or a startup, you have really valuable relationships and experience. This role, you typically cover in the hybrid OR or the Cath Lab. You're supporting an interventional cardiologist that's doing the minimally invasive procedure with the clip. And you're also working with a cardiac imager, anesthesiologist or cardiologist who's trained in cardiac imaging. So it's a full team approach, working again, like I said, in the Cath Lab. And I'll talk about the day in the life in a second. I want to give a little bit more about the physicians you're working with. We talked about the operators, but you also have to call on the referring community, primary care and cardiologists, as well as CT surgeons, to educate about your therapy as you do market development. Currently, this device is for mitral regurgitation for high-risk surgical patients. These companies are exploring indications for other types of patients, and usually that means low to intermediate risk. They're also exploring these devices in other parts of the heart, specifically the tricuspid valve. So Abbott just released their 2-year data on their clip in the tricuspid valve for regurgitation. So the space is really exciting. So now that we kind of got an idea of the experience, the typical pay range, the titles, and I do know it's frustrating, every company has a different title for these roles, be it pacing, clip, TAVR, every company calls it something different. So be mindful if you start putting up filters or alerts for these different companies, make sure you understand what the role is, the title, so you could get the proper alert. And we also talked a little bit about the experience, right? So for example, for my structural heart foray, I was in pacing for 5 years and built that clinical cardiology, then was able to go into structural heart. So for clip, it's a little bit of the same. It's a very technical procedure. You're very involved. You're covering every single case. They will not do a case without representation from the company. So just keep that in mind. If you don't like being in the Cath Lab, hybrid OR, if you don't feel comfortable telling the team what to do, you're not really going to like this role. And these physicians know what they're doing, but you're just there to make sure things go efficiently and things stay safe. But they also value your input so much. So I'm really excited. I did a lot of research on this role. I interact with these reps all the time in the hospital, but I really wanted to make this episode great. So I spent a couple hours sitting down with a partner who was at Edwards Lifesciences to talk about his role and the day in the life. What he's really excited about is how their device is being received. It's a little bit newer compared to Abbott, but the physicians are raving about the device itself and the clinical results. And what's exciting is Edwards is a leader in the structural heart space. So they're doing extremely well in TAVR. They're also delivering a TMVR option and tricuspid valves, meaning the reps and clinicals that are being trained on Pascal, the Mitraclip, are positioned really well for a lot of growth because of what Edwards has delivered and delivering in their pipeline to treat valves. So Edwards is a large company, standalone. They dominate the valve space and they're delivering there. So working for Edwards is really exciting, partly because it's a respected, great company. They pay well, great benefits, but more importantly, the impact you have on patients and the ability to partner with really large hospitals because of their innovative and novel therapies is really special. So from a rep perspective, from a clinical perspective, it's a great company to be at. It's a company you could have your whole career at. You could also spin off after 5, 8, 10 years and be a huge time leader in the structural heart space, be it in startup or another strategic. I had to take some notes. I don't want to miss anything. So looking at the clinical specialist or field clinical specialist roles, the day-to-day is a little more planned out. So I talked a lot about pacing, where you're taking emergent call. The days can change with clinic, hospital needs. Clip is a little more planned out because your cases are scheduled and elective. Sometimes there are inpatients, but typically most of your cases are scheduled, and because of that, you're covering a larger geography. So some territories you're covering, 30 miles. With this role, you're going to be covering a larger geography and supporting the larger centers with KOLs and really the academic sites as this therapy slowly commercializes and expands into the community hospitals. So for example, you could be covering Inland Empire, Orange County, San Diego, parts of Los Angeles if you're based in California, which is a fairly large geography. And I mentioned, yes, you're working with the larger hospitals, but there's some key components that hospitals need to do this therapy, such as a capable and skilled interventional cardiologist, a really good cardiac imager, which makes the case so much smoother, and the surgery component. And because of that, and working with these skilled physicians, you're not going to every single hospital such as, like in pacing, where most programs have a Cath Lab and pacemaker program. This is going to be bigger hospitals and the opportunity to work with leaders in this space. So the day starts the day before. Your sales rep tells you, hey, Matt, you're covering this hospital. First case is 8 o'clock. You know the physician team, you worked with them before, so you feel comfortable. You map out, you know you have to leave about 6:30 to get there 7:30. And this is an experienced site. For this hospital, being experienced, you're getting there early just to say hi to the Cath Lab, making sure everything's set up. Your specific device, you need to match to the patient's size so you could program and measure it and set it to the right size. And really in this role, you're making sure things go smoothly and that things, there's nothing harmful to the patient. What else you're doing is you're going to act as a QB. You're going to review the echo images with the physician from the TEE to see what their game plan is. You're also going to coordinate with the echo imager and hear what their plan is. Maybe in this role, because it's an experienced hospital, you're not providing much advice unless they ask you. You could give your feedback and your opinions, but they're pretty good with you, your device, so you're there just to make things go smoothly. We'll also talk about a different hospital this afternoon where you're taking on a more proactive role in coaching and QBing. So the case starts at your experienced hospital. You are scrubbed in. What that means is you're going to the scrub sink, washing your hands, putting on the gown, and going into the actual procedure. Your feet away from the operating physician and the patient. So it's a very hands-on role. You're not sitting at home remote, zooming in. You're not calling hospitals. You're actually in the operating room, the operating suite, and providing guidance. You're also prepping the clip and the valve that's going to go in to help the patient and being that QB during the actual case. You're making sure things go smoothly. You're watching the fluoro and the echo, providing any feedback, announcing different steps, keeping the scrub tech informed about next steps so the physician can have a smooth procedure. Before deploying the clip, they check on echo to confirm the satisfactory result. The imager, the operator, and you agree that it's satisfactory. Clip is released. You only need to use one. Everyone's extremely happy with the result. They take out the system, you wrap up the case, and you're done. You follow up with the physician, you review the final post-echo. Everyone's happy. You ask about the schedule for the future. If there's anything the operator needs, he says or she says, there's a physician that referred to us a few months ago. They're over in this city. I just want you to stop by and see how their patient's doing or review any images, answer any questions. So you realize you have a case this afternoon in a few hours. You're going to stop at this clinic on the way there to hopefully connect with a physician to share some recent innovations at your company, some new data possibly, and also to show them some images of patients with severe mitral regurgitation being resolved with your device so that if they need to refer, they have someone they can refer to. Your second hospital is about 45 to 75 minutes depending on traffic. You drive there. Before getting there, you call to check on the schedule, and they're moving along well, meaning your 2 o'clock case start is going to be on time. You get there. This hospital is a new partner with you. You have worked with a physician before. She's an excellent operator, but they're a little bit new to your system. So in this role, you're going to take on a little bit more of a hands-on approach. The physician comes up with their plan after reviewing images with you and the cardiac imager. You feel really comfortable. You provide some feedback or thoughts that they are interested and well received. And during this case, yes, just like before, you want things to go smooth, efficiently. You don't want any hiccups. You're setting up the room. You're talking with the scrub techs to make sure they have everything they need, all the supplies. But this time because they're unfamiliar with you and your team, that you need to take a more active role with imaging on echo, imaging on fluoro, and having your eyes on the system the entire time. They're used to the competitor, for example, so your device is great, the clinical results are there, but maybe some of the features on release or the tabs or the buttons are different. So you're making sure that you're keeping an eye on that and answering any questions before they get there. So you have your game plan, you go in, you're scrubbed, you're working with the scrub team, you again deliver a fantastic result that goes well for this patient that was prohibitive risk for surgery. You deliver this minimally invasive result. You do 2 clips, they're excellent, the result's fantastic on imaging. You know the patient's going to feel well after this case because the physician's unfamiliar with your product. You spend some time reviewing the case excellent game plan, see if there's any areas of improvement, and when can we see each other again for your next case, right? So that's a huge win. You had 2 cases that went extremely well. You took on a very supportive role. I talked about how you're in the Cath Lab. I also talked about how you were going between 2 hospitals, and you took the advantage to meet with a referral to discuss some innovation at your company. So your day's done. It's 4 o'clock. Tomorrow you don't have any cases scheduled, but you need to plan some activity. So what are you going to do tomorrow? So for some reason it's a quieter week, you don't have cases scheduled for tomorrow. So what you do is, as you are driving home, you schedule an in-service at a friendly hospital to meet with the Cath Lab just to make sure they're comfortable with your device and your team. You also take some time in the morning to work up the TEE images at home. And what that means is on your computer, you're able to reconstruct and analyze and look at these images to come up with the game plan. So when you meet with these physicians for the actual implant, you're ready, right? So you do a little bit of that. You set up a Cath Lab experience where you bring in lunch to talk to the structural heart Cath Lab team and make sure you answer any questions, maybe review some procedural techniques that your device offers, etc. So we finished the day of surgery, we plan tomorrow, and that's it. That's the day in the life of the field clinical specialist for the Pascal role, which is very similar to the Abbott clip role. And this role, from a really high level is amazing. It's very fulfilling knowing that you were able to take a patient with torrential leak, mitral regurgitation, which patients do not feel good, to use your device and assist the physician to get that leak down to trivial so the patient can feel great. That is really gratifying. It is also, what makes it even more gratifying is each patient's different. You're not taking the same step. You're coming up and looking at the patient's unique anatomy to come up with a game plan to help this patient feel better. So your role, you're not taking orders and sending out product. You're not a delivery boy. You're not just setting up lunch. That can be part of it, but a lot of it is that proactive role during the surgery to be the QB between everyone. What that means is, yes, the physicians are making the decisions, but you're there to provide them with all the information and resources they need so they can have a successful experience with your device and help that patient. But I also have to say these procedures are complex. There's a lot of nuances and finesse required. So it requires a lot of patience, and it requires learning how to communicate with operators that receive information differently as you cover these different hospitals, and taking this complex procedure and keeping them calm and giving them the information they need so they do not get frustrated. Most physicians don't get frustrated, so I don't know why I'm saying that. But just know that these aren't just slam dunk cases. They're complex cases. You're really helping patients, and it requires this kind of esoteric thoughtfulness as you navigate these complex procedures with patients and the ability to read the room and communicate effectively. So that's the day in the life. We talked a little bit about how to get into these roles and some of the basics. We talked about an actual day in the life, which is, I researched, so I did talk to a lot of people to come up with that. And my last little quip is that I love structural heart. I love the structural heart space for many reasons. Abbott, Edwards are the companies we talked today about. Clip, you have other companies in the space. It's growing. And what I like about these roles, it's something that could support your life in California or wherever you're in the United States, and you can make really good money and have a great quality of life. But it also opens up a lot of doors and opportunities for you if you wanted to pivot into different roles. These are a very hands-on, direct, patient-facing, physician-facing role that requires a high level of sales skills and clinical acumen. I think it's a very desirable role that, obviously is very competitive to get. So that's today. That's the day in the life. Take care. Future videos coming out soon. Appreciate everyone watching. If you want to subscribe, I always appreciate that. Talk soon.